Hey friends, so in today's video we are going to be preparing some freezer meals without actually making meals. So what I'm doing now is I just got 2 cases of chicken breasts that I am just kind of putting up into strips. I got my Ziploc bags dated and labelled with the different flavours. So SPG is just salt, pepper, garlic, chicken. Classic, basic, but works really well. And I also going to be doing lemon pepper as we have so many fresh lemons from my parents' lemon tree. And it's just a season of citrus and lemon, so I thought that would be an easy, perfect flavour. And again, we got the lemon, so might as well use it. With the actual chicken breast, I'm just kind of butterflying it in half just so it's not so thick on the thick side. And then just making them into strips, because my intentions to use this chicken, this marinated chicken, is for on the barbecue. Nick and I have been enjoying using the barbecue a lot more lately since it's kind of warmed up to that weather. So yeah, that's pretty much just what we're going to be doing. So we're going to get some marinated meat in the freezer, so if we want to take out some chicken breasts, we don't have to worry about the fuss of getting it marinated and getting it soaking with the flavours really nicely. So I'm just putting half of one container in the baggie, which, let's just see, it's plenty for Nick and I would say probably 10 to 12 strips in each bag, so that's plenty for both of us for dinner, and we might have some leftovers, or
we will definitely have leftovers.
Or sometimes we like to just kind of cook it as like a late lunch, early dinner, and then have leftovers later in the night. So yeah, our intention for this meat is for on the barbecue. And then this way, it will just be quick and easy, no fuss. But we don't have to barbecue it if we don't want to, or if you want marinated meat, you can definitely cook it inside on the frying pan or in the oven or whatever like that. We have done marinated chicken wings, that's what I'm going to be preparing after this chicken breast. We've done that before and just cooked that in the oven. But again, my intentions now is to do it for on the barbecue. So the flavours we're going to be doing is, like I said, the 2 chicken strips, the SPG, the salt, pepper, garlic, and then the lemon pepper. And then the wings we're going to do, I just call it midi chicken, so it's just like Mediterranean inspired kind of flavours. And we also got some Greek yogurt, so I thought it'd be really nice to make some tzatziki and then dip the wings in that, so that would be really cool. And then we're not making tzatziki today, that's just for in future. We're gonna do potato bake. I got 4 kilos of potatoes that I want to get all prepared as potato bake, put them in individual containers for in the freezer. And I want to make probably a double or a triple batch of sugar-free choc chip cookies, so then we can have cookie dough, fresh cookie dough in the freezer. And then if I get around to it, possibly a sugar-free lemon cake, but we'll see if we get that far. Alright, so I've got all my bags, all my chicken prepared, 4 bags of chicken strips, 2 bags of wings, and it'll be 3 different flavours. So we'll just do one flavour at a time. Let's start with, when I find them, the SPG, the easiest, quickest one. We'll get that out the way first. Alright, so for the SPG, which I don't have any backup oil, unfortunately. Also, the chicken bags are going to be just over 500 grams. Each packaging of chicken breast was like just under 1.1 kilo, I believe. So about 500 to 600 grams of chicken. We'll do a couple tablespoons of olive oil, or any oil that you cook with. And then we're going to add probably about half a teaspoon of salt in each bag, teaspoon of black pepper, teaspoon of garlic powder, or maybe 2 teaspoons just because we love garlic powder. So 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of white pepper. So you want to just zip them up and shake it around and get that all nice coated and marinated. And now I've got that all marinated nicely, I'm just going to release the air out of these bags and spread them out so then they'll freeze thinner. So freezing them thinner, it's neater and easier to store and stack in the freezer. And when they take out to defrost, they'll defrost nicer and quicker and more evenly as well. All right, now we'll go with our lemon pepper chicken, which is actually pretty similar, but yeah, it will have a total different flavor profile. But pretty much the same ingredients, you're just adding lemon and herb. Also, here's a tip as well. These are fresh lemons from my parents' tree. I've got them in this glass bowl in the fridge with water. They're not submerged in water, but each day I do rotate the tops of them. And these just seem to be so fresh still. They've been in this for over a week and it looks like I haven't cut into it. Actually, no, Nick used one earlier, I think. But the exterior at least looks like it's just been fresh, pickly. Looks like it's just been picked fresh. It looks like it's been freshly picked from the lemon tree like today. So because these lemons are so big and so juicy, I'm going to just be using half a lemon, like the juice of one lemon, half in each bag. If you got lemons from the store that's smaller or not as juicy, then I probably would recommend the juice of one whole lemon per bag. But the downside to these lemons, they are quite seedy, so I'm just cutting around the core. Try to get these seeds out. Alright, so as you can see, just in that quarter of the lemon, a lot of juice here. So that's why I'm only going to do half a lemon in each bag. Alright, so we got our lemon. We're going to do half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper in each bag, half a teaspoon of white pepper in each bag, and a teaspoon of garlic in each bag. So here I have my food dehydrator. This has honestly been sitting up here for too long. I've got this fresh, what is it, parsley that I got from my parents' garden. I've started to pick the leaves off the stems, but it's just been a project. I started, I stopped, and that thing is like, I'll do it tomorrow. But this is nice and dry, as you can hear. I love the sound of it. I'm just going to pick off the leaves from the stems. I could just go right from the jar, but I might as well just do it this way to help this task become it. But if you got fresh parsley, definitely use some fresh parsley. This is just the only parsley I have. I would also add thyme, but I don't have any thyme at the moment. And this is a mixture of curly leaf parsley and flat leaf parsley. It's just what they were growing, and I thought I will try both. And even in my jar, I've just got them both mixed. But we would want a couple of tablespoons of either dried or freshly chopped parsley in each bag. So this parsley is freshly grown parsley from my parents' garden that I am so lucky to just go help myself with whenever I want. So I did take a massive shopping bag home to dehydrate, to preserve, so then I have it in my house on hand. So yeah, very blessed with that. And it worked amazing in this recipe. Just sealed up the bag, shake it around, exact same process, and then we're going to start on the Mediterranean chicken wings. Alright, so now for the chicken wings, we're going to do probably about 4 tablespoons in each bag of olive oil or any oil. Just want a squeeze of lemon juice, so I just quartered a smaller lemon, still very juicy, and we'll have just 1/4 in each bag of the juice of a lemon. Half a teaspoon of salt, and for the chicken wings as well, it is 1 kilo in each bag. Half a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, so we want a lot of garlic. Do 2 tablespoons of dried oregano. If I had some dried thyme, I'd probably add a teaspoon of that in, but I don't. And if I had onion powder, I would add a teaspoon of that. And if I also had coriander powder, I would add a teaspoon of that. So I am lacking in the flavor department. I need to restock my spice cabinet. I did not realize that till right now. That's fine. Paprika, I'll add a tablespoon of that. So yeah, it is missing onion powder, coriander and dried thyme, but this is still going to be delicious. Alright, so just like that, all the marinated meats is completely done, so I'm going to pop them in the freezer. So at the bottom here, just recap, that is our salt, pepper and garlic, and then we got our lemon pepper, and then our Mediterranean style chicken wings. Alright, so I was going to start on the potato bake. I did get my bacon trimmed up. This is half a kilo of bacon, but I'm feeling a little tired, so I might just go have a lay down, have a rest. I also didn't realise on how late in the afternoon it actually is, and I'm going to my family's house for my brother's birthday today for dinner. So I will see him, give him his gift, give him his cake. I'll show you guys the cake I made. So he requested caramel cheesecake. That's what he's got. Homemade caramel, burnt the crap out of my finger because I wanted to taste it. Idiot. Boiling hot caramel. Of course that is going to burn extreme, but me being the piggy I am, wanted to taste it, and I mean I tasted it, it was fine. But yes, did burn my finger in the process, and as you can see it's still pretty much probably is rested now, but I haven't decorated it. But I didn't do that as part of this video in this morning. Although it's something I made today, it's just I wasn't too comfortable with the caramel. I'm still a little bit like, I kind of wish, I don't know, it tastes good, but it just has this bittery aftertaste. I think I did let it go like a second too far, but when it is mixed in with the filling, it tastes amazing. But then I do have a layer of caramel on top, and that's the part now I am a little bit worried about. So we'll see how that goes. Here's a picture of it anyway, of the completed. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up that bacon. All that chicken's in the freezer. I did do that cake this morning, so today's been a day. And I've done my shopping, done lots of things. So I'm going to give myself some time to relax. I'm just trying to think. We might be back later tonight, do some late night cooking. The lighting will be off, or maybe tomorrow morning. Don't know. Not sure what we'll do yet. We'll do something. But anyway, I'm just going to go relax a little bit and we'll come back to this project. So it's the next day. Nick got all 4 kilos of these potatoes prepared for me. So we just cut them. Well, he just cut them in these thin slices, and he also decided to dice up some potatoes. So these foil trays is the perfect size for us for a side. These glass trays with the diced potatoes, this is more if we're having like a full roast and we want like leftovers for the day after. And while he got the potatoes done, I finally, after sitting on the bench for a couple of weeks, got that parsley done and in the jar. We also washed our dishes. Our dishwasher was broken at this time. It's now fixed, but it was broken. And not gonna lie, I kind of like the aesthetic of my freshly washed dishes, like on the tea towel, on the stovetop. I don't know. It was a vibe, but I'm so grateful to have a dishwasher again. So now that he has got these potatoes all prepared, last night, so the night before this, I did fry up that bacon and I fried up some red onion. So I just went across and divided that up between all of the different trays. And then here we got 600 mils of cream. I thought it was a little short, so I did add in probably about a quarter of it of milk, shook it up, and that just kind of helped to give more sauce. And to season it is just salt, pepper, white pepper, I believe, paprika. And the newest thing I love to have now in my sauces when it comes to like cauliflower cheese or potato bakes and things like that is chicken stock powder. Chicken stock powder, game changer. I now make my own bone broth for soups and things like liquid stock. We have stock powder still in the cupboard from before I was making bone broth. I want to figure out how to use it. I done it in a cauliflower cheese. It's amazing. It's now my go-to. And to get these prepared for the freezer, we do want to bake them. So I've got foil on all of them, and I'll pop the timer on for 45 minutes. The oven's set at 180 degrees fan force. And we do want to still get them baked even before it going in the freezer. Alrighty, so it's now the next day. I'm still in my pajamas. I woke up to Nick in the kitchen washing and preparing the potatoes, which was a massive help because I was a little stressed. I got a lot of things to get done today that, yeah, just chores wise and cooking wise. I'm keep putting off cooking. That's one thing I have noticed is I'm always in my mind, it's like I'm going to make this, this, this and this, and then I don't, and we are diving back into just eating not very good, either takeaway or just pop into shops and get a loaf of bread and just having sandwiches for dinner. because it's just so cheap and easy and quick and convenient. But for the diet, that is obviously not good. So it was great waking up to Nick already washing up a whole bag of potatoes and had that all prepared for me. So he ended up doing all of the potatoes while I was outside. I done a couple of loads of laundry, I got some dishes done, I checked on my seedlings, done that kind of stuff. Finished the parsley project. So this is homegrown parsley that I got from my parents' house. I'm not gonna lie, that was sitting dehydrated for probably a good 3 weeks after it had been dried. So that is finished. We got a whole container of fresh parsley, and you can just see how nice and green that is, and the fragrance from it, it's wonderful. Way more greener and smells so fresh compared to store-bought. And yeah, this was dehydrated. Okay, so I was gonna start cookie doughs. I got the potatoes in the oven. They've only been in for 10 minutes, but oh, calm down. Turning that off, leaving that in the oven. When I come back, I'll probably put it on for a couple of things. We've got some family stuff to deal with, so I've got to go and assist, but that's okay, that can wait. So yeah, I'm gonna go help out some family members, and then we'll come back, see how done the potatoes are. Cooking the potatoes, we don't want them like super soft because they will cool down. We'll pop the cheese on, pop them in the freezer, and then when they come out and defrosted to cook them, we'll just chuck them in the oven uncovered just to heat up the potatoes and get the cheese all nice and gold. We've done it before, works absolutely beautiful. That's the plan with that. So this batch of potatoes, we'll see how they go, but the oven's nice and hot and they're staying in there, so that'll be fine. But we'll check that when we come back. Alright, we have 2 bowls out here. We're going to mix dry in one, and then we're going to cream the eggs and the butter and all the goody yummy stuff in the other, and then combine. So starting off with our dry bowl. Holy smokes, 3 cups of flour. I feel like this is already a big batch. Starting off in our dry bowl, we want 6 cups of flour. This is going to be a big batch of choc chip cookies. So 1, 2, 6. We want 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Baking soda can be quite clumpy, so just breaking it up in your hand. And 2 teaspoons of salt. To be honest, I'm probably just going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. Alright, and just using a whisk, I'm going to mix this all together, and that's going to help sift the flour and just get it all nice and combined. Right, now we're switching out bowls. So we want 2 cups of butter, softened. Don't have soft butter. Got a frying pan. I got a 500 gram brick of butter, which I do believe this is equivalent to 2 cups. I'm just going to be chopping this butter into small pieces, pop it in my fry pan, and just get it soft. You can zap it in the microwave. We don't have a microwave. To be honest, don't miss it. We did have a microwave, but I used it. I believe I was home alone, and it friggin' blew up, scared the shit out of me. So yeah, got rid of that, and I just much prefer the counter space. And we just don't miss it. And either way, people think doing things on the stove, it's like, oh, you gotta wash a pan, or you gotta, like, you have an extra dish. You'll need a bowl or something. It's still gonna get all buttery, and you need smaller pans. It's perfectly fine. Alright, melting the butter's now gonna go into the stove. We're going to stir it. We'll put it on low, we'll do medium heat. We'll stir it every minute or so. Some bits is going to melt, that'd be fine, but majority of it, we just do want it to be soft. Alright, so although I just said to not melt this and to get it softened, it melted, so that's okay. Did he make an appearance?
That was the idea.
So, yeah, it's melted. She'll be right. Next thing is sugar. We want 4 cups of sugar. If you were doing this with regular sugar, you'd want 2 cups of white sugar, 2 cups of brown sugar. I got this non-sugar kind of sugar sweetener. So hopefully I got 4 cups. I don't know. We might just have enough. We might be
4
short.
cups.
Yeah, no, we're short. Oh no. 1, 2,
Oh.
3. We got like 3 3/4 cup. That's fine. That's enough.
I would say personally, you have 3 cups. Because those first,
I know. I don't
you didn't finish them.
Oh, it's so light, this sugar. I can taste it in my mouth. It's sweet. Oh, can you taste it? Because it's so light and fluffy. Yeah, probably about 3 cups of sugar, but you know what? She'll be right. She'll be right.
Yeah, she'll be right.
Yeah, she'll be alright. I am going to be using our electric beaters to cream this together. Again, using this artificial sugar or sweetener. Don't know how it's going to cream, but alright, I'm second guessing this melted butter situation. Yeah, I'm going to let this solidify just a little bit. Bless you. So yeah, I'm just going to chuck it in the fridge and we'll just keep our eye on it this time. Alright, I'm too impatient to let this solidify. So we're just going to roll with it. We got 4 eggs. I've also taken out, as you can see in the background here, the other remaining potato bake. So that is great. So, and we want to add 2 to 3 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm just going to do the rest of this. Probably 2 teaspoons, not even quite that. And then we're just going to get this nice and beaten up. Well, that's a much more nicer consistency now. Alright, we're going to dump in the dry mix. I don't want to use whisk, probably not a whisk. So now just taking a silicone spatula, I'm just going to get this mixed and combined and turn into cookie dough. Hopefully the consistency ends up being okay. If it is too runny,
And flour.
it will just end up solidifying the butter inside and thickening up. But I'm sure we'll be okay. Alright, the chocolate chips we're going to be using, again, if you're not doing this sugar-free or you're just doing it regular, use regular chocolate chips. We are doing this sugar-free. Technically, these chips are 95% sugar-free. Close enough. I'm classing them as sugar-free chocolate chips. So, this is a 150 gram bag. We're going to add 2 bags, so just 300 grams. Oh wow, that's cute. These are like mini size chocolate chips compared to your regular. So, the dry is not completely incorporated. I just thought it's incorporated enough and we're going to have to mix in these chips. And what I'm going to do is pop on a glove and I'm just going to use my hand just because it's such a big batch and it is thick. It is a thick dough, so I'm just going to use my hand to kind of squeeze it all up and finish getting it all nice and combined. Especially right at the bottom of this bowl, that's where a lot of that flour sits. So it's really important to come out and get that flour and incorporate it in the rest of the dough. Alright, so what we got? Cookie dough. I did taste a little bit of cookie dough. The chocolate tastes like regular chocolate to me. I can't tell that it's a sugar-free chocolate. The cookie dough definitely doesn't taste very sweet. Probably because I didn't have the right amount of sweetener in there. But it still tastes good.
Very good.
So, I got a large baking sheet, a smaller baking sheet. They're my only baking sheets, and I've got some other parchment paper. I'm just going to be taking like a heaped tablespoon, squish it into like a ball, and just slightly flatten it out. Oven is preheated at 190 degrees Celsius fan force, and these little guys are going to go in there, so one for Nick and I to taste, and we're going to bake us a cookie now. So they're going to go in the oven for about 10 minutes. So while they're in the oven, I'm just going to keep on rolling, well, squeezing and slightly flattening cookie doughs for this top sheet, and then this can go into the freezer and we're going to flash freeze this cookie dough. So what flash freezing is essentially we'll just pop this whole tray uncovered in the freezer for about an hour to 2 hours until they're frozen solid. So then we can take it out, pop these little bits in a Ziploc bag that I'll have dated. I'll have what they are, which is sugar-free chocolate chip cookies. And so they can go pretty close. And the date that I made them, and then stating that it needs to go in at 190 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. We can cook these from frozen. It just may take an extra minute or two. And then once I've got this tray filled up, I just got some baking paper and we can do some more here. But if they're going to sit out on the bench for a little while, I mean, once this tray that's now in the oven that cools down, I can transfer these onto that tray, pop that in the freezer. And then if I do have any more, out here, I will just pop a clean tea towel over it just so no flies or the cats can't get to it. And then once these go into the bag, we'll just rotate and pop the counter ones in there in the freezer, and then they can go in the same bag. Alright, so we got a tray of cookie dough. This is gonna go in the freezer. These 9 can stay out. In total, it was, with the cookie dough balls plus the 2 cookies that we had baked, 35 cookies in total, so that's great. And over on this side, we have our cookies. I did have to flatten it with a spatula. They're still a little warm. They did brown up beautifully. Kind of can't see where the, oh, there we go. So the bottom's nice and brown. It's kind of pale and crumbly. So, I don't know. The consistency, like the texture, kind of reminds me of shortbread. Not what I was going for. Yeah, okay. Let's finish this cookie while it's still nice and warm. So, it's not exactly what I was going for. Biting into it is different. It's not bad. Appearance, it is an ugly cookie. It is definitely an ugly cookie. Like I said, the bottom got nice and brown. I just kept it in for the 10 minutes. Right on the outside, does taste like a shortbread. But the inside is nice and soft, which I like in a cookie. And it's still warm, so that's probably why it's still a little bit soft. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover up these potato bakes, pop the date on, pop them in the freezer. I'm going to go get ready because we're going out for dinner tonight to celebrate my brother's birthday. His birthday was yesterday. We're celebrating tonight. So, cookies are in the oven. No, they're not. Cookies are in the freezer. We'll rotate. I might even just pop that on top. And the chicken that we marinated yesterday. So we got 6 bags. We got 6 bags of chicken in the freezer, marinated. We have got, I haven't even counted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 smaller potato bakes, 2 larger potato bakes, and our cookies, 35 cookies. So great freezer cooking day, well, days technically. And I love how we didn't even make a meal. But it's just so good knowing we have marinated meats ready to go. We got potato bakes ready to go. We got cookies for a sweet treat, which that was my main thing. I desperately wanted some sugar-free cookies so I don't keep buying myself chocolate bars. But anyway, we done good. So I'm proud of what we accomplished, and I'm proud that we got this stuff in the freezer, and I'm proud that we got the potatoes, especially on such a good price, and I took advantage of that special that I saw it, and we utilised them. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. If you want to know as well future cooking day videos, I do want to do a big baking day, like I mentioned at the start, a lemon cake. So we want to do lemon cake. I can't think on top of my head. Or cheesecakes, I mentioned that as well. So we're definitely going to be doing a massive freezer sweets, desserts coming up, as well as your regular meals as well. But it is a really tasty cookie. But that's all for today's video. Please give a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Have I said this already? I don't even know. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.